I want to spend a couple of minutes with you and talk about a concept we don't get to hear very much about, and that is water as a lifestyle. Okay, just think about this for just a couple of seconds, because most of us see water as just a regular part of our everyday life. But we've been able to take water for granted for as long as we've been able to take it because we live in the developed part of the world where getting to water, finding water, not being sick from water, not having to walk 14 miles a day to get water to boil and hope that it's not going to infect or kill our families is just not really part of our life. So we take what comes out of the tap, what we wash the car with, what we water the lawn with, what's in our life every day completely for granted. Whereas if you look at water for what it is, given that our bodies are made up about 75% of water, and the planet is covered by almost exactly that percentage of water, that it really is a cornerstone of physical life. And it's been made a symbol in all things spiritual, and there's a calming effect associated with it with all things psychological. And right now, we're facing new threats to the developed world. Part of them have to do with not being able to have easy access to water that we know is safe, dealing with forever chemicals, microplastics, fluorides, chlorines, all the rest of the things that have been mounting concerns, especially for people that have got children on the way. If you're pregnant right now, or you've got children on infant formula, toddlers, people in their development years, or you're just really following the news and you see what's going on around you. Right now, they're estimating that there is unsafe water coming through the taps of about 251 million Americans, and that issue is spreading itself right across North America. But listen, it's not all just gloom and doom stuff. There's been some processes in place that date back 19 centuries that work when it comes to cleansing water. We just, as they say in The Lord of the Rings, have forgotten some things that probably shouldn't have been forgotten. And now, water as a lifestyle means that we've got to take charge of them. Like, think about this. If I gave all of the authority of my health and my life over to a municipality, over to a corporation, over to somebody that I didn't know, or I didn't know what their goals were, or how I could trust them. In one of the recent surveys that was done with regard to the plastic water bottle industry, 19 different major brands were tested in 26 countries around the world, and high levels of microplastics were found in 93% of those samples. So why do I want to say, gee whiz, I'm worried about tap water, so why don't I just go out and buy water in plastic bottles? And then I hear all of these news stories about the breaking down of the environment, plastic building up everywhere in oceans and rivers, and microplastics affecting groundwater, coming into blood and into placenta, into breast milk for the very first time. And every time I keep making the same decisions, hoping that they're going to have different results, my mind is at war with me because I'm making decisions that my mind knows are not the right decisions. When it affects our minds, it affects our spirits. Spiritually speaking, we're not supposed to be ingesting things that we know are bad for us. It goes against the very spiritual belief that we could have an abundant life. So water as a lifestyle starts with understanding its perspective, its place in our lives, our perspective of it, and how we can control the water in our lives in a completely different way. We talk about it all the time here. Even CWO at idrinklivingwater.com was set up because we want to make you a chief water officer. We want you to be able to know that the water that you're drinking and that's available to your family and to your pets, to the people that you love, is clean, and that it's going to bring health, and it's going to bring resolve, and it's going to bring us out of eco-anxiety because we're going to take positive steps together. Once you start putting water into its proper place, then you get to push back on some of the issues that most North Americans are facing, and that is dehydration. Did you know 76% of all people in North America are dehydrated, even though they've got access to reams and reams and reams of water? And I wonder sometimes if that dehydration level isn't our own mind sometimes pushing back on us to say, no, that's not safe. What's going on there isn't quite right. So if you had a water supply that you knew was completely safe, 99.999% pure, and revitalized and remineralized, and that you could make it part of your daily life, that you could infuse it with things that would help you to sleep better, that would give you greater energy, that would just bring you back to a proper state of hydration. Bring your children back to a proper state of hydration so that they can deal with anxiety, so that they can sleep, so that their minds work the way that their brain was designed to function in proper hydration. If we had those things working in our lives, and we had this amazing place in the center of our home that had water waiting for us, that we were encouraged to drink, and safe ways to carry it around, to move it with us wherever we go, then we would have come into the very first pathway of taking control of water and having water as a lifestyle. Listen, a lot of us have gotten sucked into the idea of convenience. There's nothing convenient about being anxiety ridden. There's nothing convenient about holding a plastic bottle in your hand and wondering if you're contributing to the destruction of the planet, and like we are, right? There's nothing convenient about that. But taking steps that are as easy as making a pot of coffee and setting a few implements in place so that you could easily adopt this kind of psychology, physical and mental help into the basis of your family, that would be life-changing. And that's what we do at I Drink Living Water. We want to change our view about life and water and health, our minds, our body, and our spirits. And we'd really like you to join us. Thanks for listening.